Welcome back to part 3 of my bathroom renovation where it's all about tile. Let's get our boots on and start laying it out. First up was the shower pan, where I took this flat pebble rock and laid out my pattern and then cut out the edges as best as I could. After removing parts that were going to cover the drain, I had to take a few to my tile saw and cut those edges straight. And then I dry fitted them into the shower pan, had them all laid out and marked the orientation that they needed to be. I moved them off the shower pan into the same orientation so I would know where they all went, and then laid mortar for one row at a time. Once the mortar was down, I notched it with my trowel, and then I slowly dropped the tile sheets over the existing ones so that they would match up perfectly, and basically used my grout float to make sure they were smooth and pressed down, and repeated the process. Once they were all laid down, I moved on to the shower drain, where I had to take the Schluter shower drain, placed mortar, and then pushed it down the same you would with tile. Once that portion was set, then you push down the actual drain so that it's level with your tile, and I filled in the actual pebble rocks that surrounded it to ensure that the water would drain into the drain. Once that was nice and smooth, I let it dry for 24 hours and then came back and started mixing up my grout in the color gray. This was fast setting grout, so I had to work in small areas, and basically you just spread it, scrape off as much as you can, and then use a sponge to get the excess off. Repeat this process, and then within 3 hours of it drying, it is ready to be walked on. Next, I moved on to the actual floor. I already dry fit and cut all my tiles so that this process would go much quicker. So I spread my grout, back buttered all of my tiles, and then laid them one by one with spacers, and it's really just as simple as that. I started in the back corner next to the toilet and worked my way onto the doorway, and it went pretty smoothly. After letting that dry for 24 hours, I came back and grouted the entire floor with the same color that I did for the shower pan. Then I added my ledger board, and we were finally ready to tile this back wall. And it was just flying up. I mean, it took a little bit more time than this, but basically I took these beautiful black Luna tiles from my curated tile line with Tile Club and stacked them vertically for such a beautiful, bold statement shower. I attached a black Schluter edge for both of the sides for a clean look, and then just tiled my way up. I got super lucky with my layout where I only had a few cuts, and let me tell you that the 4 cuts I had around the shower head were 4 for 4. After letting them dry for 24 hours, I removed all the spacers, and then I used a dark charcoal grout on the entire shower, and it totally blended in perfectly. I will wait for that to dry and then come back with all the fixtures, but we moved on to the wall treatment I'm going to be doing, and of course it's going to be more arches with a little surprise going on the inside. I can't wait to share. But first I need to figure out the paint color. If you follow me in stories, you already know I've made this choice, but here are a few options I was debating between. So keep following along to see this bathroom really come to life.